Welcome back everyone, this is Machete Bushcraft Australia. My name is Ben and I'm the owner of North Arm Machete Co. And first up, I'm really sorry, it's been ages since I put up a video. Yeah, you know, life throws curveballs sometimes. I've been really busy, but I'm gonna absolutely make a much bigger effort to put some more consistent videos up online. You can definitely thank a guy called Grandpa Bill in a town called Friendship, and he lives in WI, which I'm assuming is Wisconsin, over somewhere in the States. Look, anyone can yell at me and it doesn't bother me, but when an oldie yells at me or gets frustrated with me, I always listen. I'm definitely of that era where, you know, we respect our elders, especially when they get upset. And the second one is I had another gentleman, he was a German fella, and he was complaining that I don't do enough crafting videos. And there is a reason for that. Unfortunately, I got a really bad case of tennis elbow. I've never played a game of tennis in my life, but if any of you don't know what tennis elbow is, it's horrible. I'm not supposed to do anything with my left arm. It's very frustrating. But I will do some crafting, some minor crafting videos. It's hopefully not too heavy on this arm. Okay, so to say sorry, I'm going to do 3 videos really quickly. First one I'll do is this one, which is going to be just my quick method of making tent pegs. When I'm out in the bush, you can never have enough of these when you're camping. I'm forever losing them for one, particularly the steel ones when they go rusty, or the gal ones when they go rusty. They tend to blend in really quickly. And also if you just, you know, I'm always short, so making these really simple tent pegs, not pretty at all, but they're very fast to make, is one handy thing that I tend to do when I'm out in the bush with a machete. Yes, you can make them with a small knife. And you can make them really pretty if you like. However, I just like my method because it's fast, it's not pretty, and it gets the job done. The second one I want to do is I want to do a quick video of, and I don't like doing reviews, simply because I don't like saying bad things about people's stuff, but I was really impressed. It's a new maker called Method Knives. He's an Aussie maker, and he actually has been making knives for a while. He's just started online with his new business. I'm really impressed with this knife. And I won't hold back. There's a few things that I'm not so completely happy with. However, I tell you what, it's a knife that I'd go out, if I lost this, I'd go out and buy it all again. And that's pretty rare because I've been making knives for years. I started out when I was 20, and I know what I like in a knife. And it's pretty rare that I actually find a maker who will make something that I like. I'm just a little bit particular in that regards, but this is a really good knife, and he's changed my idea on a few things, but I'll cover that in the next video after this one. And the third one is going to be a really simple one. I see this mistake over and over again, and it's about when you chop at an angle. And it's funny because a lot of really well-versed YouTubers out there that do know better, and have actually said that they know better, but they still do it. I'm actually guilty of it as well. I'll sit there and I'll keep mashing the same spot, even though I'm chipping on an angle. I think the problem with that is that, sure enough, someone can tell you how to do something, but unless they tell you why it's to be done that way, you can quite often forget. So I'm going to try and demystify the concept of why we cut on angles whenever we're cutting anything. So that will be the third video. I'm going to keep them really short too, so I'm going to stop talking now. If you just want to give me a moment, I'm going to reset up on our bench, and I'll show you my quick method of just making tent pegs out in the bush. And if you hang out to the end of it as well, I'll give an explanation of another method of cutting out the opening for the rope handle. But if you bear with me, I'm on a bench and I'll be back. Thanks very much. Alright guys, I use this method of making tent pegs for 2 reasons. And the first one is because I'm a little bit lazy. I kind of want things done really quickly and efficiently. I don't want to waste any time with it. I'm not interested in making things look pretty. I just want the job done so I can get on doing other fun stuff. The second reason why I use this method is because I am not overly accurate with the machete. Look, I'm decent, I can get the job done, but I'm not going to pretend to be one of those guys that is a pro and like I nail the same spot every time. To tell you the truth, the only people I've ever met who can do that are the people that have been working with them since they were 6, 7 and 8, and they use them every day. And then you tend to find them in the islands or in Africa or in South America or even India. But it's definitely not my cup of tea. So I use strategies to improve my chances of accuracy. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to chop just a simple splay, which becomes a spike which you drive into the ground. And then we're actually going to do basically 2 cuts on one side, flip it over and just cut the back, and they're going to be our markers to trim it to length, and the other one's going to be our marker just to do a little cutaway for the rope handle. The other reason why I tend to like using a machete for these as well is because, like, if you really need a really chubby tent peg, I mean, that's a fairly decent size. That'll hold down like one of those old-fashioned canvas marquees. I wouldn't hesitate using a stick that size. To do this with a knife, yeah, absolutely you can do it. It's just so much easier cutting that splay in with a machete. I always go for a long stick because obviously the further away my hand is when I'm chopping, the safer I am, basically. We're just going to cut a splay. Now here's the trick. Trick number one for people who aren't overly accurate with a machete is basically, you see, whenever I do a chop, I twist like that, and what it actually does is it opens up that cut, and this becomes a place. It's just almost a guiding spot where the machete will actually guide into that point, to that cut. So that's tip number one for the people who are inaccurate, such as myself. And you know what? It doesn't need to be pretty. This is just a tent peg. You can leave it in the ground or just kick it and snap the top off it. That's it. It doesn't need to be any prettier than that. You can sit here and you can clean it up somewhat. But look, to tell you the truth, the ground's not going to know a difference. I tend to just make the tip a bit blunter. That's it, spike's done. You don't need to do any more work on it. That is completely appropriate for a tent peg. Now, here is tip number two for the inaccurate people such as myself is, yeah, of course, I can sit here and I can go chop to make a mark. Or the beautiful thing about using a machete, because you've got so much weight in it, is I can set my mark. Let's say that's going to be my length, and I go chop, and now I've actually made my mark. I'm going to go back a little bit. This is going to be for my rope notch. Make another mark. And now, because this is my length mark, I'm going to roll that over, and now this is where I want to cut on the back end. So now I've actually got a tent peg marked to length. Now it's a matter of, I just need to make a weak spot in here so I can actually snap this. So all I do is I just basically just carve a notch all the way around. And that should be plenty. There you go, that's now cut to length. Now I've just got to do the opening for the rope and just tidy up that end. Another good thing about machetes, again, I can sit here and I can actually carve that somewhat flat to tidy that up. Or I like to just tend to use this method through here and just nice and simple. Now the same thing here with the rope notch. I've already made my mark for the rope notch, and that's actually going to be my shoulder. I'm going to do my cutaway on this angle through here. Again, this is just straightforward carving. There's, I think, really fancy about it. And I tend to like using that chest lever grip. That's it, tent peg. Tidy that end up a little bit. It doesn't need to be any prettier than that. That's it. It's nice and simple. Now, the only other thing that I would suggest is, if you notice that because I always carve, I tend to always try and carve away from myself. It's just sort of your basic not cutting yourself situation. And so obviously, if you actually look at that shoulder, the shoulder's at the top. If I can get that in focus. If you want your shoulder on the bottom, I'd actually do this cutaway before I actually break that stick. So your shoulder's on that low point. But basically, I mean, that's it. It's not any simpler than that. Now, if I want to continue make another one, I've still got my long stick, and I just basically just rinse and repeat. Guys, I hope you like this dead easy method of making tent pegs or tarp pegs. If you liked it and you found it useful, like and subscribe. It actually makes a huge difference to us on this channel. And if you've got another method you'd like to share, please leave a comment down below or tell us about your, or put up another YouTube video. I'm sure everyone would love to see it. So until next time, which is going to be Meflin knives and that knife review, we'll see you then. Thanks very much.